What people think of art today is actually tools that we needed for survival.
I know from working with clay as long as I have that the earth holds a memory of the cultures who were here. I just always feel like clay has so many life lessons.
My name is Raven Halfmoon, and I am an enrolled citizen of the Caddo Nation, and I am a contemporary Indigenous artist. I always say I'm living in two worlds of sharing traditional knowledge and carry it on to the next generations, but at the same time making work that was a little bit more relevant to my own personal experiences. It's important for me to always be carrying those who were with me in the past, family, and bringing them forward, and also sharing my experiences. And then coming here to the Bray, you know, I feel like my career and what I made really jumped off from being here, and the Bray has a special place in my heart for that reason.
The Archie Bray Foundation, or the Bray as we refer to it, plays a pretty pivotal role in bringing culture and diversity into this community. We have artists that are coming, honestly, from all over the world through this very specific lens of contemporary ceramics, but it also, you're kind of getting a sense of what's happening with people in other cultures around the world.
The best thing about the Bray is it's kind of a cohort exposure residency. So the people that come here, it's not only about them making their work, it's about them making connections.
Sorrel.
We are kind of a ceramic mecca, and my goal here is to make this like the place to come in the world if you want to know anything about ceramics. So we have kilns that'll fire to cone 10 with a computer. We have salt kilns, soda kilns, wood kilns. We don't have any indigenous techniques. So that is a hole in our knowledge that we're looking to fill. How do we expand the canon? How do we make available to as many people as possible ways in?
I'm Chanupa Hanska Luger. I'm Awache, Dripping Earth Clan from the Mandan Hidatsa Rikara tribes. My access to clay has not been through institutions. So my point of access to the American craft movement of the 70s, where clay became a fine material to 7 white dudes, then it became very important all of a sudden, and the irony of it being like an American craft canon and not having 20,000 years of indigenous people working in clay here. So Stephen and I were kind of talking about some of these things, and I was like, the vast majority of people working in clay on the planet Earth presently are pit firing out of necessity and out of these customs that have been passed down forever. And he was wanting to broaden Archie Bray's scope to invite people outside of the same hat that all the names are dropped in. And so I was like, let's shift it. Let's call it First Fire. And let's build a facility that celebrates pit firing. The group that's here right now working with First Fire are all indigenous artists from different regions in North America. So we have Northeast, Southeast, Southwest, Midwest traditions. It's easy to build a roof, but how do you build a floor that is designed to adapt to the myriad of techniques that will potentially come there? I'm like, I don't want the artist to have to adapt to this space. How does the space adapt to their technique?
It's really important to have an indigenous voice. Our voice has not always been there in institutions. And so I think this is another example where a voice that is different than mainstream has an opportunity to be able to talk about who they are and where they come from. I mean, especially if we're talking about clay.
They've taught me so much. I know that we've all learned so much from them, and then I can just see them sharing with each other and learning from one another. And I feel like that's the beauty of a place like the Bray, is that it really is about, you bring people together who are just creative and excited, and we're certainly seeing that.
I'm just here to boss.
these kinds of opportunities, they're priceless, really. We're incredible people that we can make, these expressions of who we are, with such integrity. I want people to understand who we are.